Hey guys, it's the Disco Spider, and before 2014, LEGO's had a pretty big franchise, with video games, straight-to-DVD movies, and a ton of TV series, and of course the LEGO sets. But it wasn't until 2014 when we finally got a theatrical film all about LEGOs, and people weren't really all that interested in the film. But when the movie finally came out, it became a huge success, not with just the box office, but even with the critics. The movie was such a success that they had to make it into a franchise, like you have to do nowadays. Later on, Warner Animation Group would announce 4 more LEGO movies taking place in the same universe, which are the LEGO Batman movie, the LEGO Ninjago movie, the LEGO Movie 2, and the Million Brick Race. But is the LEGO Movie as awesome as everyone says it is, or is it as painful as stepping on a LEGO brick? The movie is about Emmett, an average everyday LEGO brick, who accidentally stumbles upon the piece of resistance, and is recruited by the team of master builders, who wants to stop the evil President Business, who wants to take control of the world. Your story may sound like your typical Chosen One story. An average man is chosen to be the leader of this team to stop the forces of evil disrupting the world. But like every movie, it doesn't matter about the story. It's all up to the execution. And the execution is what makes this movie so good. It knows that it's following a formula and it plays with it, having fun with all the cliches and making fun of such. And you might think that this movie is easily predictable, right at the beginning realizing what this movie is about, and you can easily guess what's going to happen throughout the film. But this movie still has some plot twists that makes the movie even better, since it makes the story and the way it's told make perfectly sense. And what makes this story so great is the humor. The movie has a ton of jokes, ranging from all kinds of ranges. The most prevalent here are the fourth wall jokes, where they're fully aware that they're Legos, and they just have fun with making a ton of jokes about it. If the movie wasn't as funny as it was, I don't think the movie would be as great, but it seems like every joke worked. Even if one joke falls flat, we got 3 or 4 more, helping to pick the fun tone back up again. And the way this movie is structured feels like someone playing with Legos. How fast-paced everything is, going through a bunch of different worlds and meeting so many characters, even if they're already existing and don't really go along together. And that helps the movie have more of a fun edge to it. It feels like a movie about someone playing with Legos, which helps later on with the film. But for anyone who has ever played with Legos and is very attached to them, whether you love them as a kid or you still play with them nowadays. But in short, although the idea is very unoriginal, how much fun they have with making fun of all the tropes that movies like these do is very fun and highly engaging. And as for our characters, it seems like the characters are here just for comedy, which is fine, and I do like the characters for the most part, but the only characters that actually contribute to the story is Emmett, Lord Business, Vitruvius, and Lucy to an extent. The others such as Batman, Unikitty, Metalbeard, and Benny don't serve much to the story, and they just seem pointless and not needed. And as for the other ones, they seem very one-note. We have the typical evil businessman, the old man helping the chosen one, and the love interest. And although I do like these characters, they seem to follow the tropes too well. And I know it seems dumb to say since I praise the plot, even though it follows the same tropes while also making fun of it too. But I was kinda hoping for some characters that aren't just here for comedy purposes, and that's it. But even with that, these characters still bring a ton of laughs, and for the most part are very memorable. And then we have our main character Emmett, who plays the cliche of the average man who becomes the chosen one. Emmett being one note here works because they're making fun of how every single chosen one character is very bland and boring, but luckily they don't make Emmett a boring character since he does make a ton of jokes and is likable. And I really like how even in an average city, he is considered to be an average by everyone, even by average people, since everyone has a little quirk except for him. But even if he's there to make fun of some of the tropes, it would have been a lot better if he had some sort of development, since he doesn't really grow as a character in the film. Heck, I even think Lord Business had a little bit more development than him. But like everything else in the movie, it may seem like he's following the same trope, but he's still a fun character. But as for the character relationship, they were all on a team, but they didn't have much of a connection. The only one that I felt was Lucy and Emmett, but it would have been cool to see more characters interact with each other. It probably would have gotten a ton of laughs comparing each of the personalities of the character. It just felt separate characters doing the same mission. And as for the animation is amazing. The movie looks like stop motion, yet it's in CGI. The attention to detail in the animation is amazing, seeing the scratches and tiny dents in the figures and how they look like real Legos, not the ones on the show where they just look very CGI and fake. They feel more plastic and sharp than the other characters in the video games and shows. And the world that the characters go to are really cool, although I would have loved to explore more than just an average Lego city. But the best part of the animation is just seeing the references to other Legos, like the cameos of other Lego characters and how everything in this world is made out of Legos, and I just think that's really cool. You know, even the water, when it's moving, it was all made out of Lego, and it just looked really cool. In general, I really love the LEGO Movie. It's just a really fun movie with a ton of jokes, and it makes fun of the tropes it follows. This movie has a rewatch value, so even if you've already seen this movie, I'd recommend seeing it again, since there are a lot of things you probably missed the first time. And if you haven't seen this film, I'd highly recommend it. Even if you think this movie looks dumb and is just there to make money for the Lego sets, I still have a feeling you'll have a lot of fun with it. Hopefully the other Lego movies will be good too. We'll just have to wait and see with my Lego Batman review coming soon. But until then, I'm the Disco Spider, and peace out.